Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Gunderson Talks. My name is Mark. Let's get into it. 13 years ago, I wanted to kill myself. Life had beat me down, I'd beat me down. There was no more options. I didn't want to live anymore, I didn't want to be a part of this world, I wanted to die. I hated who I was and I hated the things that I had done. There was nothing good about me and I just considered myself a piece of crap. I was useless to society and a gutter pump. I'm still here though. 13 years later, I have a beautiful family of 5. I live comfortably and I have peace and contentment. What happened? How did I get here? Let's go back 5 more years from the time that I was suicidal. I'm sitting in my friend's house. We're stoned for sure. I don't know what else we're on, but we were stoned for sure. And we're playing cribbage and just talking. And I start going off on all these great things I'm going to do. And I was so ambitious. I was going to change the world and just how glorious I'm going to be, even though I'm just an 18-year-old kid living with my mom. And I get done on my spiel with my ideas and all this stuff I'm going to do. And he looks at me and he says, "Mark, you're just a dreamer." His heart was pure when he said this. He had no ill intentions. But I took it the wrong way. I took it as if I was just a dreamer, nothing more. I wasn't going to achieve, I wasn't going to do great things. And that's all I was going to do, is just sit in my mom's basement and dream my whole life away, not do anything. So the logical thing to do, I guess, during this time in my 18-year-old brain was to stop dreaming. So I stopped dreaming and I got further into drinking, further into drugs. My life spiraled. I don't want to get into the details of what was bad and how it was bad, but everybody has their bad. You have your bad. If you're watching this and you understand what I'm saying right now, you have your bad, and everybody's bad is bad. It's not a pissing contest. So instead of getting into all the things I did and all the things that drove me to the point where I didn't want to live anymore, let's just talk about hope. Let's talk about what happened that got me to where I am today, or even got me past that time in my life where I was hopeless. I was out on a binge and I took off out of town for a couple days, and during this couple days I drank, I smoked, I did an ungodly amount of cocaine. I did as much as I could whenever it was in front of my face, which was pretty normal, except I was sad. I didn't like myself, and the thought of suicide, the fantasies of it, started to really come in the foreground of my mind. And I went home after a couple days, and on the drive home I cried. And when I got home, I sat at the table with my stepmom and my dad, and I went off. I spilled my guts all over that table and told them everything that I was feeling, everything that was hurting inside of me, and that I didn't want to live. I didn't feel like I had purpose in life, and this was it. I don't know what to do, and I don't want to drink anymore. I don't want to do drugs anymore because I know that isn't helping me anyways, but I just don't want to do any of it anymore. Any of life. I couldn't escape. When I was sober, I wanted to be drunk. When I was drunk, I wanted to be sober. And the only way that I could actually escape, the only solution that I saw, was to die. That was it. I would wish for me to die, because really I was too chicken shit to do it myself at times. So I get done talking. There's snot everywhere. There's tears everywhere. I blubbered. They sat and listened to me the whole time. Didn't say a word. Every time I looked up at them, they were still looking at me. They were still listening. And when I get done, my dad looks me in my eyes and he says, "Okay, now you need to make a decision." And out of all the moments in my life, that's the biggest time that my dad came through for me. I sat there for, it probably felt like 30 minutes, but in reality it was like 30 seconds. It was a long 30-second pause. I looked back up to him, I said, "Okay, I'll make that decision." And that night, I did take a pill that night, but after that, I got rid of everything I had, and I decided to get clean and sober. So now I'm about a month into my sobriety, and I'm white knuckling it. I don't feel better about myself. Nothing had changed. I'm only honoring this decision I made to be clean and sober, but I didn't feel better. Nothing was better. I wasn't okay. I still didn't want to live. I still didn't want to be here. I still felt worthless. I still was hopeless. I was just clean and sober. And I'm sitting here just sitting on my couch, futon bed, and I'm watching TV, kind of zoning out, contemplating, thinking of things, and George Lopez was on TV doing a stand-up routine. And in his routine, he started to speak about how when he was growing up, how the odds were against him because of where he came from and who he was, that he couldn't do great things. And everybody he would tell, I'm gonna be famous, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. They'd be like, no way, George, you're not gonna do this. You need to go do this instead. You know, quit living in a fantasy land. And what George did next was amazing. And when he started describing it in this stand-up comedy routine, it caught my attention in a way that my attention hadn't been caught in a long time. He started saying that he's going to dream. And every time somebody doubted him, he just used that and he'd dream harder. And he'd dream and he says to dream, 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 dream. Dream as hard as you can. Dream until you can't dream anymore. And when you can't dream anymore, begin to dream. Dream, dream, dream. I can still hear him in my head telling me to dream. Just dream. So right there and then I perked up and I felt motivation. I was motivated for the first time in a long time, and I wanted to do something for myself to feel better. So I began to clean. That was the logical thing to do because I had spent that month not cleaning. I did not pick up anything. I didn't shower. I just sat in myself and wallowed in my own pity without doing drugs or alcohol. I got on the ground and I started throwing my shirts everywhere, not everywhere, throwing them in a corner, throwing garbage in another corner. I'm cleaning up, I'm going through, and underneath my bed is a pipe with a full bowl in it. Had I known it was there before, it would have been gone, but I didn't know it was there. So I look at it and without hesitation, without even thinking twice about it, I go upstairs and I toss it. I get rid of it. And I make sure that it was a can pipe, so those are easy to really smash up and it's gone. And I walk back downstairs and I'm in my room and I look at the ground and I start cleaning again. I just get back into it. I did all this without even thinking about it. And I'm crawling around. There's this stand-up mirror. And as I'm crawling around, throwing all the clutter everywhere, I look in the mirror and I catch myself. And I see myself in the mirror. And for one moment, for this brief moment in time, I believed in myself. For just a glimpse, for just a second, I had hope. After this moment, I decided I wasn't just going to not die. I wasn't just going to be sober. I decided I was going to live. And I started attacking my shortcomings and things that I didn't like about myself one thing at a time. I started going at it rigorously. I started with my honesty. I went on with a number of different things. And as I attacked each one of these things, the world began to have color. I began to see details in trees. I began to enjoy sunsets. I started smelling everything around me. I started being aware of my surroundings. And I started to experience peace and contentment. I wasn't perfect. By any means, I'm still not perfect. I never will be, but I will always progress. I will always become better. And that is the whole goal. As long as I could just be better. And that's one thing I can be ambitious with for the rest of my life. When I'm old and in a nursing home or wherever I'm at, I'm going to be thinking of ways that I can be better. And that will never be finished. But that goal, that continued progress, it gives me purpose. And with that purpose, I have hope. With that hope, with that purpose, one thing at a time, I've been able to dream and dream and dream. And I've been able to take my dreams and turn them into reality. That I can think of something, I can think about it hard, I can imagine the whole thing, and then I can go out and do it. I'm not just sitting in that bar stool talking about it. I'm out there going and doing it. So after all, being just a dreamer is a pretty good thing. Decide, dream, believe. Thank you everybody for watching. Like if this was helpful, and subscribe if you want to hear more of my stories. Also, I want to say that this story is just a heartfelt story from my experience. I am not a professional and I am not giving any advice. What worked for me may not work for you, but something will work. Suicide is not the only option. And you are worth it. One thing I want to encourage you is that there's never a bad time or a bad place to talk to somebody. There's never necessarily a bad person to talk to about this. Find anybody. Don't let it sit inside you. Go and talk. I'm going to include the suicide awareness number in the description below. Call that number if you need to. Don't wait for the right time. Don't wait for the right moment that you can get this out, or worry so much about somebody else's feelings and time that you don't want to bother them. Bother them. Bother people and get it out of you. Go and talk to people, please. I want to tell you that I believe that this world is a better place with you in it. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.